Welcome everybody. How we doing? So today I am hoping, at the very least, to turn Total Nonstop Action into the best wrestling promotion in the world using Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. So what I have is TEW 2013 and a mod that puts actual wrestling talent rosters together for every promotion on the planet. Um, the rosters are accurate, I think, from 2017. It might be 2016. But as you can see, our interface from TEW 2013, there's nothing fantastic about it. TNA currently is the third ranked promotion in the world. They have a cult following. $100 million to start, just to kind of get things moving along. Our next show is in 3 days. It's TNA Explosion. You can see our schedule here. TNA Explosion is a B show that runs for an hour. It's scheduled to run weekly every Thursday, and then Impact Wrestling also runs weekly every Thursday on average, and that is our A show. And then you see our pay-per-views here, one night onlys, Slammiversary, Bound for Glory. We may add a few, change a few, whatever. The product, I did make a change already to the product. I went with Modern Pure Risu Wrestling because it's basically it focuses on talent and their performances versus popularity, and it focuses more solely on match ratios. So none of that promo crap, none of that, having to use personalities and trotting them out to do promos, blah, 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 blah. As we've seen, now this isn't going to accurately represent the wrestling world today as we live in, but you watch a show like WWE Monday Night Raw and it's 20, 30 minutes before you have an actual match. That sucks. So we changed that up, went Modern Puro Risu, which gives us 100% match ratios. I got rid of the face heel divide because that's not really a thing in Modern Puro Risu Wrestling. There is a women's division. The TNA levels in Modern Pure Risu are low. You can see all of the product appeal there. The key feature is that it's modern and it's heavy on the realism for those. So, kind of, there's no longer gimmicks with Modern Pure Risu because gimmicks are stupid and they're really, really dated. So there you can see that. I haven't messed with the titles at all. TNA King of the Mountain, you've got the women's division, you've got the World Heavyweight, the World Tag Team, and then, of course, the X Division. Taking a look at the rosters, it's pretty much what you see is what you get with TNA, just exactly as you remember it from a couple of years ago. And we'll see if we can add that source over here. Possibly. There we go. There you go. Now you can see the roster. Abyss, Aiden O'Shea, Al Snow. Al Snow is not an active wrestler, by the way. He's a road agent. So if we want to look at strictly our talent, solely wrestlers, no whatever you want to call it, no road agents, none of that stuff. We want any type, any push, any division, any disposition. We just want to look at the wrestling. The regular wrestlers. And we'll see our any in-ring push is what we want. So there's the talent. Ideally, you're looking at a roster of 26. We apparently have 36 contracted wrestling talent. So you've got your Abysses, your Brams, Crazy Steves, Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Drew Galloway. A lot of these guys are gone from the promotion. Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, of course, are gone. Drew Galloway's gone. Eli Drake just left. EC3's gone. Gail Kim retired. Jeff Hardy's gone. Bobby Lashley's gone. Matt Hardy's gone. Spud's gone. Trevor Lee's gone. A lot of these guys went to the WWE, and so we'll get back to that screen there. Our management screen. We're 3 days away from TNA Explosion TV taping, so we'll get that going here. And you saw the schedule. We'll get that pulled back up because I realized that I kind of didn't have that up. There we go. So there's the schedule for you. As you can see, our one night only Slammiversaries, Bound for Glories, Explosions, etc., etc. So back to our main screen here. We'll take a look. We just started this game, as you can see here. So we've got a lot of promotions in the universe that exist. And there you can see all of them. I believe I added All Elite Wrestling with the AEW roster as best as I could put it together. So hopefully someone will purchase that or be listed as the owner, and they will get off the ground. But you've got pretty much every wrestling promotion you could think of. What we're going to do is I want to go through and I want to shortlist a lot of guys from different promotions that I would ideally like to hire for our promotion. And some of them are going to be pay-per appearance guys. Some of them are going to be exclusive talent to the Impact roster. My goal is to have young talent that I'm hoping can stick around for a while, be exclusive to the TNA property, and then some of the other names that are relatively big and are good gets for TNA, we'll have them possibly be pay-per appearance guys. But we'll show you Chris Shelley here. He's a guy that I'm super interested in picking up with the worker profile here for Alex Shelley. Right now he's a pay-per appearance guy, main eventer in Ring of Honor, New Japan, and AIW, which probably translates into a main eventer with Impact. He's also from right around where I live. So there you go. So we're going to shortlist Alex. Even though I could sign him right now, I at least want to put him on our shortlist. These are the potential tag team options that we have available. The one that I'm looking at is Chris Sabin, who's right underneath him. We'll see if we can switch that window back over. Back to the worker profile. Maybe. We'll see. There we go. Alright, so we'll switch over to the worker profile here. So there's Chris Sabin, and we're going to shortlist him as well from AIW. He's also in AAW and Ring of Honor. Matt Cross I really love, but long term I don't know if I'll want him on the roster long term. Johnny Gargano is a guy that I'm definitely going to want to shortlist before WWE. They have him right now, but he's on a pay-per appearance deal, which means I could probably, with a little luck anyway, snatch him up as an exclusive TNA talent performer. Mike Elgin, we'll look at him. We'll shortlist him. Who else do we have on this roster that might actually be interesting for us to try to keep an eye on? Candice LeRae would be a good addition to our roster, so we'll shortlist her. Once we get everybody shortlisted, then we'll go back and we'll take a look at the shortlist. We'll see what we're doing with it, and then we'll go from there. we'll start uh, negotiating with talent from there. Tracy Smothers, I've actually worked with him in a real life promotion. Very, very interesting man, to say the least. I got a chance to spend quite a bit of time with him, so that was pretty cool. Mary Dobson, as she's known in this promotion, we're going to go ahead and shortlist her. For those of you who don't know who that is Nikki Cross. Or excuse me, not Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is Nikki Storm in this promotion. There we go. And I'm totally brain farting on Mary Dobson here. I apologize. Sarah Logan. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of her, but we're gonna shortlist her too. Sarah's a pretty solid performer. Heidi Lovelace, also AKA Ruby Riott, we'll shortlist her too. Want to build up that women's division that Impact has with some really strong female talent. Mia Yim is ridiculously talented. She's actually on a pay-per appearance deal with Impact, according to this. She performed as Jade. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. But we'll go down to the next promotion that has talent available for us to sign. Take a look at the roster. I definitely want Sami Callihan, for sure. He's one of my favorite performers in the world right now. Tommaso Ciampa, I want to try to snatch him up before WWE lands him on an exclusive deal for sure. Going through this, Mason and Devin Cutter are pretty solid tag team on the independent scene. The Hooligans, for those of you who follow the indie scene. Dave and Jake Christ. I definitely want to shortlist them. Dave and Jake Christ perform as they perform under a bunch of different names. They're from Ohio. They call themselves the Irish Airborne, the Ring Riders. Ohio is for Killers. They are on Impact right now as OVE, Ohio versus Everyone. They do a lot of work with Sami Callihan. So I'm going to try to put those three together. I got to track down Jake Christ because I don't know where he's not signed to this particular promotion, but we'll find him. You see the AEW roster. There's a couple of guys I'd like to shortlist for when their contracts come up. I doubt that we'll land them, but we're at least going to shortlist them. Cody Rhodes is probably too big for Impact. I mean, he would be a huge fish in a pretty decently sized pond. Pac, for those of you who don't know who Pac is, that would be Neville on the indie scene. We're definitely going to shortlist him, keep our eye on that. Matt and Nick Jackson, we'll definitely want to watch them. The Young Bucks. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. Now, they had a good run in Impact for a while, and then left to go to AEW, the Lucha Bros, if you will. Kenny Omega, we definitely want to keep an eye on for when his contract becomes available. Then you've got guys like Jericho, Brandi Reynolds, Aja Kong, Jimmy Havoc. Guys I probably wouldn't ever utilize to their full potential in Impact. Looking at the Japanese rosters, nobody in All Japan, I don't think, that I really want to keep my eye on. Some of these don't have owners yet, so they don't have a roster to build on. So we'll just go through and just kind of take a look at things, see who's got what, who we want to keep our eye on. El Tejano, I definitely want to watch him from AAA. Aerostar is another insanely talented performer. Uh, Not very well known in the States, but really, really talented. A lot of these young kids are in AAA. Some of them are not that young, like Drago. I think he's like 40. And Helico, definitely want to keep an eye on Adam Bridle because he's ridiculously talented. One of my favorites. Definitely up there. Alright, so we'll go through that list. Nobody else really in AAA that I want to. I absolutely cannot live without. Big Japan. I don't think there's anybody in Big Japan that I wanted to watch, so we'll skip over that. Capital City operates out of Canada, as you can see there. Nobody there that I don't already have working for me. Chikara. Chikara is a very interesting promotion. There are a lot of insanely talented performers in Chikara. You got guys like Dasher Hatfield and Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, who's really some way, shape, or form just absolutely exploded onto the scene in the last couple of months in terms of people keeping an eye on their that keep an eye on the indies. Orange Cassidy. If you've ever learned anything from a, uh, a wrestling school or anything like that, a lot of things that they tell you, if you think you're going too slow, slow down even more. And there's sort of that running joke that Orange Cassidy kind of took that to the extreme. So if you get a chance, watch an Orange Cassidy match, and I'm telling you, it'll be well worth it. I'm going to shortlist Ashley Remington. For those of you who don't know who he is, that's Dalton Castle in Ring of Honor. Ridiculously talented young kid. CZW. This is a promotion that WWE loves to raid. Names like Leo Rush, John Moxley, Dean Ambrose came from there. Just ridiculous how much talent that they get from them. Drew Gulak came from there, Donovan Dijak. I think even Shane Strickland is in WWE now, if I remember right. He's on his way up. I think he's in NXT at the moment. Let's see, who else? Drake Younger. DJ Hyde, who performs in Impact, was a CZW alumni. This is really more about guys that the WWE have stolen over the years, but, you know, there you go. These guys, the work that they do in terms of the type of matches they have, oh my goodness. These are the, beating each other over the skull with one of the long light bulbs that you see in businesses. The name escapes me. Fluorescent light bulbs, cinder blocks, setting stuff on fire, just ridiculous stuff. Sanjay Dutt, who is formerly with Impact, now with WWE, is a road agent, and I believe he's part of the creative team. He was in CZW for a little while. So yeah, there's a lot of good talent in CZW that do some really, really, really good work. So we'll go through the lists here, see if there's anybody I want to shortlist. Leo Rush is definitely somebody I want to shortlist for sure. Really getting kind of a raw deal in WWE, but That comes with the territory of having the kind of chip on your shoulder that he has that young of an age. Let's see, CMLL. A lot of good talent, just not a lot of good talent for me for Impact. So I've been thinking about doing a podcast where I go through and sort of talk about the history of the WWE and some of the talent there that has gone through. For Christmas a couple years ago, I got the WWE Encyclopedia, and it's always been interesting to me that I want to kind of go through and see what they say about the talent, and then do a little research on my own to find out, not necessarily what that talent was really like, but not get the WWE whitewash view of that talent. So that might be something that stay tuned for. It wouldn't be a YouTube thing, but it would definitely be a podcast of some sort. Dragon Gate, uh, another really good Japanese promotion. Definitely want to shortlist Ricochet. That kind of goes without saying. Actually, he'll probably be one of the first people I reach out to try to sign. Akira Tozawa, another WWE name. Many will remember. He came from Dragon Gate. DDT, great promotion in Japan. Kota Ibushi, right there at the top of the list. We'll go ahead and shortlist him. You've got Nakajima. Who else is wrestling for this promotion at the moment? A lot of big names. Great Kojika. None of them would be helpful to our promotion, so we're gonna pass on a few of those, other than Ricochet, obviously. Evolve. They have an actual partnership with WWE right now. So you're going to see a lot of names that are going to look very familiar to you on this list. Chris Hero. Cassius Ohno, right? PJ Black, Drew Galloway, who I already have signed, Ricochet, TJP. I'm going to shortlist him, even I know he got fired from or released from WWE, but TJP actually was in Impact for a while. He was under the Suicide Mask. Just as a FYI for those of you who aren't familiar with that. Tommy End, also known as Aleister Black in WWE circles. Definitely want to get him on the roster for sure. Zack Sabre. Zack Sabre is ridiculously talented. If you've never seen a Zack Sabre match, do yourself a favor and go look one up on YouTube, because he is just unbelievably good. Fred Yehi, who is, I thought at one point he was signed to WWE, but I don't know if he is now. That's one that I'm going to need to look up for sure. Alright, so let's see where he is signed. We'll just pull up his wrestling encyclopedia here. So he was with Evolve for a little while. He was with FIP, Revolution Pro, did some work for Black Label Pro, MLW. So he's not with WWE. I thought he was in talks to go to the E, but I guess maybe he passed. He saw the writing on the wall that the work that they were doing, or the creative in WWE, is really fallen short lately. Definitely want to shortlist Matt Riddle. But you got names like Tony Nese, ECW, still doesn't have an owner at the moment. There's the former NXT there, Florida Championship Wrestling. Full Impact Pro, another decent promotion with some really good talent. Roderick Strong worked there along with Ring of Honor. Shane Strickland again there. You've got guys like Homicide, Devin Cutter, JT Dunn, Mason Cutter, David Starr is a young up-and-comer. Caleb Conley again. So yeah, pretty good promotion there and full impact. And you've got a bunch of other and there, look, there's Global Force. Let's see if Jeff Jarrett buys it, and then I can buy him out after a week. Ice Ribbon, women's promotion. A lot of talented young women in this promotion. Kiyuri, Yuka, Siyuri, Ayo Kazuki, Tsukushi. A lot of good talent there. Hajime Soto. Alright, so we'll move on because there's nothing that's really going to help our promotion there. And that's what we're looking for, is guys that have name recognition that would help the promotion along to get us to number one. So, Big Damo, Damian O'Connor, Killian Dane. For those of you who only follow WWE, we definitely want to snatch him up. Grado, pass on him. I've never been a fan of Grado. Good talent, just never really got into his work. I don't know why. Mark and Joe Coffey, definitely want to shortlist them. A couple of British talents that are really, really good. Excellent workers in the ring. If you've watched NXT UK, then you've heard of Joe and Mark Coffey. Kaylee Ray, another really talented women's division wrestler. Alright, IWRG. It's a Mexican promotion, so I don't know if there's going to be anything that's going to help us here. No knock on the Mexican promotions, but some of the Mexican indies, the talent that's there is really good. The unfortunate thing is it doesn't translate over to the U.S., at least in this game, I should say. So there may not be a lot of guys on this list that I'm going to want to snatch up. They're going to be really good, excellent performers, but just nobody that would help us get to number one. And that's what we're looking for here as we kind of scroll through. Joshi, another Japanese promotion. It's a women's promotion. And again, it's pretty much the same names as Ice Ribbon. JWP and Ice Ribbon are really, really close to one another in terms of the roster. The Kaientai Dojo, love them. Lucha Underground. Here's where we're going to get a lot of names that are guys that I definitely am going to want to hook up with, like Johnny Mundo, who is John Hennigan, who was John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact, Johnny Insert, whatever promotion he's working for. King Cuerno, El Hijo del Fantasma, for those who follow AAA. Really good performer, King Cuerno. Big dude, too. Sean Davari, if you remember him. Aerostar, Drago, and Helico, we've already got up there. Brian Cage, I definitely want to snatch him up. We'll shortlist him so that we can try to negotiate with him. Ivelisse Velez is really good. We definitely want to shortlist her. We've got Cuervo. Vampiro. Peace and love to Vampiro. If you don't know what's going on with Vampiro right now, he is he's dealing with the effects from dementia, which is really unfortunate. Vampiro has a great mind for the business. He's got a really good, what do I want to call it? Not necessarily a head for the business, but he knows the history and he knows a lot about what's going on with. He's in tune with the world, I guess I would say. So, just kind of taking a look at my my feed here, and for some reason, it does not want to full screen it, and I don't know why. It's very unfortunate. Let's see if we can make that bigger. Maybe you guys can see that. I checked on my feed, and my goodness, you guys can't see a damn thing. So there we go. That's a little better for you. Get it centered up. All right. So my feed is terrible. The problem is that TEW is a Windows-based game, and it doesn't have a full screen capability. So I can't just say focus on this one application that's running in any windows that pop up subsequently. So within every new window that pops up, like if I click on Vampiro here, his profile is going to come up, but you can't see it because of the way that this game is laid out. But if I add a source and I capture that specific window of the worker profile, there it is. But then when I close the worker profile, it takes you right back to that screen. So we'll just not look at that there. There we go. We'll get that one removed. Okay, so back at it. Going through, continuing to try to find talent that we can bring in to the fold here in Impact that will really help us get over the top. We're trying to get in front of guys that are young and talented. Keep an eye on that, the next big things, if you will, so that we can bring them into the fold before they have a chance to go to WWE or AEW. So, new generation, Martin Kirby, definitely somebody I'm going to want to watch. Martin Kirby is really, really talented. Jack Gallagher, those of you who actually watch 205 Live know about him. Same with Mark Haskins, not on 205 Live, but definitely on NXT UK. Who else we got here? Zach Gibson. Want to shortlist Zach. Really good performer. Alright, moving on. New Japan. Here we go. Now we're starting to get into some of the gold mines of talent. Whether or not we actually can land them is another story. So we've got Tanahashi. We've got Kazuchika Okada. Definitely want to watch the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, see what he does. I like Kushida, but I don't like him for my promotion. I'd rather see him thrive here in New Japan. I'm on the fence with Harry Smith. I kind of want to bring him and Lance Hoyt in, but yeah, I guess we'll shortlist him. We'll take a look here. Naito, who I absolutely love as a performer, Tetsuya Naito. Bushi's good. Tamatonga is really good in the Gorillas of Destiny. So we'll get Lance Hoyt, a.k.a. Lance Archer. Let's see, what else do we got? Fale, Ricochet, Rob Conway, Shelton Benjamin, Takahashi, Rocky Romero, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. Really would love to snatch them up before WWE does. And they're on paper appearance deals, so I can bring them in really at any time. The Briscoes. I'm basically, I hate to say it, but I'm basically just creating the Ring of Honor roster. Tavita Fafita. He is also known as Tangaroa. Jay White. I've been telling people for years, do not sleep on Jay White. And what did y'all do? You slept on Jay White. And then what did he do? He went and became one of the best talents in New Japan. You're welcome. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright. I love Red Shoes. Red Shoes Uno. I very rarely will shortlist a referee just because referees are a dime a dozen and they really don't have a huge impact on the game itself, but I love Red Shoes, and he's great. So we'll definitely keep him on board. Matt Taven, who is hurt to start the game out, but that's okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Northern Championship Wrestling, brought to you from the mean streets of Quebec. Probably not a lot here. Courtney Rush is also known as Rosemary at TNA circles. So we don't need her because we've already got her on the roster. So we'll just keep moving on. OVW, keep rocking it. Al Snow, keeping the OVW name alive. So the last time I played this, I played with AEW. And with AEW, I think it was like maybe 6 months into the game, Vince McMahon died. And I tried to buy WWE, but they just turned control over to Stephanie. So if you're ever wondering what's going to happen to WWE once Vince is gone, Stephanie. According to this game, anyway. How accurate that is, I don't know. Alright, so I'm looking at a talent here, and I want to say, nope, he's still in OVW. Okay, I was looking at Dylan Bostic, but yeah, he's still in OVW. Moving on. PCW, British promotion. Adam Cole, baby. We'll shortlist him for sure. I'll probably approach him to sign an exclusive deal. Will Ospreay, another one. Probably one of the most talented wrestlers on the planet right now. If not the most talented wrestler on the planet. PWG, I think we already have a lot of these guys except for Marty Scurll. We'll shortlist Marty for sure. Yeah, a lot of these guys we already have shortlisted, or we already have them on our roster, so that's good. Noah, probably not much going on in Noah in terms of guys that we want to lock up. 0-1, yeah, more of the same. A lot of guys that we don't have and probably wouldn't help us get over. Progress. British promotion here. Awesome British promotion, I might add. Jack Sexsmith, Morgan Webster, Eddie Dennis, Damian Dunn, who is the younger brother of Pete Dunne, I believe. I believe he's younger. Mark Haskins. Don't sleep on Mark Haskins either. Dude's one of the best in the world at what he does. Propane Wrestling. Somebody get Hank Hill on the phone. Reina, which is a women's promotion in Japan. See, a lot of these don't have owners yet, so they don't have rosters, which is nice because it makes it a lot faster to go through this list that's a million miles long and shortlist talent that you want on your roster. Plus, a lot of these guys are on pay-per appearance deals, so they show up in multiple rosters, which is great. Kind of shortens up the time that we have to take to bring these guys in. Jay Lethal, love him, love him, love him, love him. Still got a little bit of gas left in the tank. I'd love to see him get a run in WWE. Got the Briscoes on our short list already. ACH, Hanson and Rowe. You know what? I'm going to shortlist them just because they are the ROH World Tag Team Champions in the game. And not only that, but I feel bad because they got such a crappy push in WWE when they got brought up to the main roster. Dalton Castle, we've already shortlisted. Truth Martini. If you want to go to a top-notch wrestling school and learn how to perform in the ring, Truth Martini's House of Truth is where you want to go. I'm telling you, House of Truth is it. Nigel McGuinness, who is I believe he's active. Let me pull up his profile here. Nope, he is retired, so that's at least accurate. Shimmer is a women's promotion. Most of those ladies we've already got shortlisted. Same with Shine. They're basically the same thing. Smash Wrestling. Gosh, I don't think they have anything here. They really do not. Southside. Hey, there's Pete Dunne. We'll go ahead and shortlist him. This is the only promotion that he performs in. Tyler Bate, definitely want to shortlist him. Our shortlist is becoming a long list very quickly, I've noticed. Let's see. So there's our roster. We can skip over that because we don't need to shortlist any of those guys. Westside is another European promotion. I don't know if there's anything that we don't already have. A lot of these guys, for some reason, this game just really shits on Central Europe, which is too bad. Walter, we definitely want Walter, for sure. Really talented performer. Want to keep our eye on him. Michael Dante. I think he was in a tag team, yeah, with Tommy and the Sumerian Death Squad. Women Superstars Uncensored. I already have pretty much most of them except for Tessa Blanchard, who I want to shortlist. WCW. Huh. That's funny. Wonder Ring. Another Japanese women's promotion. Oops, I want to shortlist Chelsea Green. Because she has been in Impact before. Santana Garrett. I kind of want to keep an eye on, but I kind of don't. Evie. Dakota Kai. For you WWE fans. Kairi Sane. Kairi Hojo. Whatever you want to call her. And Io Shirai. Now, Io has a sister, Mio Shirai, that, if I remember correctly, a lot of people thought Mio was better than Io. So, take what you want away from that. Alright, WWE. Short list is going to get about twice as long now. Bray Wyatt, definitely want to shortlist him. We want to keep our eye on Mox, too. Let's see, who else? Dolph Ziggler. I love Dolph Ziggler as a performer. Rusev. Love to have him back in the fold. Bubba Ray had an awesome singles run at Impact before. Might be a nice little nostalgia trip. We'll keep an eye on him. Kofi. Kofi could have run the joint in Impact if he wanted to. If he ever wanted to go that way. Big E, same thing. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, coming back to Impact maybe. We'll see when his contract's up. The Miz. I have a lot of friends who hate on me because of The Miz. I love The Miz. Absolutely love The Miz. Alright, let's see who else we got here. Xavier Woods. I love Xavier Woods' work. when he's in the ring. Kevin Owens, definitely want to watch Kevin. The Usos, probably the greatest heel tag team, arguably ever. Their heel run has just been out of this world. Just unbelievably good. Let's see, who else we got here? How about Enzo? How about no? Sasha Banks, Brie Bella. Definitely want to watch Charlotte and Becky. Mostly Becky. I love Becky's work. She's unbelievably good. Oh, let's see, who else can we watch? Who the hell's Kyle Edwards? Never heard of this guy. He's an announcer? Huh, could have fooled me. These are most of their road agents and things like that, except down here you've got Randy Orton. Get well Randy at WWE.com. You got Seth, Cesaro, who's really talented. These guys are all hurt though. Sammy. Gotta get Sammy. Alright, moving on. Wrestle 1 Japanese promotion. Not much happening there. NXT. Here's where I'm going to raid the cabinet that is WWE. So, Nakamura, Joe. And as I said, these rosters are from a couple of years ago, so Finn Balor's still down in NXT. We're going to snatch him up. Manny Andrade, if you don't know who that is Andrade Almas, also known as La Sombra. Dash and Dawson. Want to keep our eye on them. See, this right here. NXT is the gold mine for snatching up talent. Blake and Murphy. I like Blake's work now with the Forgotten Sons. I love Buddy Murphy. His work is just ridiculously good. So I'm going to shortlist Blake too, just because. Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears. Who else we got going on here? Elias. Everybody hates on Elias, but when he actually gets an opportunity to perform, he's really good. Really, really good. Patrick Clark. I love him as Velveteen Dream. Steve Cutler. We'll put the Forgotten Sons together. We'll shortlist him too. Maybe we can snatch him away. And then you've got the women's division. We definitely want to watch Asuka. Want her contract to come up. What else do we got? Alexa Bliss. Can't sleep on Alexa Bliss, especially if we're going to have Buddy Murphy coming over. Sean Spears. We might as well hook up with Peyton Royce. And if we're going to do Peyton Royce, you got to do Billy Kay. There we go. Alright. Keep going on down here. Corey Graves. I almost want to snatch up Corey Graves for the announce team. I don't do much with the announce team. I mean, they're the announce team. Big deal. Alright, so there you go. Hideo Itami I'm going to pass on. XWA, XPW. Okay, so we've got our short list, which is not exactly short here. And we'll take a look here. I'll show you the short list now that we've got it up. Here we go. There's our short list. It doesn't want to center completely, so there we go. Okay. So now that we've got that done, our short list here, there's going to be guys that we can filter that are available to be hired. Now this is going to take out all the guys who have exclusive contracts. So that shortens up our list a little bit. But I noticed Dave Christ, I was able to shortlist him, but Jake Christ didn't get shortlisted. So I'm going to switch over to the list of all the talent that's in the game. And we are going to look up Jake Christ. There he is. Oh, because he's unemployed. So we'll shortlist him. Now we'll go ahead and go back to our shortlist. There we go. Get that nice and big so you can actually see it. Alright. So now we want to know who we can hire. And we'll start negotiating with these talents. So Adam Cole, I want to make him a long-term deal. So I'm going to go 5 years with Adam. Pay him until he's 31. Alex Shelley is a little bit older, so I'm going to offer him a 1-year deal. And let me show you that. I'll add this source here, this window capture for the contract offers. So this is what your contract offers look like. There we go. Alright, so these are the contract offers. You can do written, paper appearance, or exclusive PPA, which I believe is what some of the top talent and Impact has now, are exclusive paper appearances, so they can perform in other promotions with permission. The exclusive ones, they only get paid every time they show up, but then the PPAs, they can perform anywhere at any time. And then you've got the written deal, which makes the talent exclusive to the promotion, obviously. Then you've got your contract length. Alex Shelley's 32, so I'm going to go with 1 year or unlimited appearances, because I have a feeling he's going to be one of the top guys on the roster should he accept the deal. The role, you can tell him contractually, you will only be an in-ring performer, you will only be a manager, you will only be XYZ. The intention, if you want to make promises to them, like if you wanted to bring in Sting, he would be an icon. If you wanted to bring in The Undertaker, it would be as a special attraction. If you wanted to, be a future main eventer, like one of these young kids, like a Velveteen Dream or a Jay White, at this point they're younger, so you can say, yeah, you'd be a future main eventer. We're going to push you like that. Think of Rocky Maivia, a future main eventer, a blue chipper, a guy that's really going to come up. Then you can promise a push. I never promise pushes because they're so wildly all over the place. But those are your push levels. We'll see that in a little bit when we start to book shows. Their availability. Now, as a written performer, a lot of times this doesn't matter. But as like an exclusive PPA guy, you can promise them, yeah, you're only going to show up for pay-per-views. Or, outside of that, you're on your own. So when you, if you've got a big-name guy and you're negotiating against somebody else, like you're in a bidding war with WWE, you can promise a bonus for every pay-per-view. So he makes $61.90 a month, and I'm going to promise him 10% of a pay-per-view. That means he's going to get an additional, whatever 10% is, $619. But since I'm not negotiating against anybody, there's no reason for me to negotiate against myself. To sweeten the deal, you can give them creative control, which a lot of times, if they are a champion and you're trying to get them put over, they will say, no, thank you, I'm going to stay champion. You can kind of work around that with bonuses and things like that, and some other promises. There's also hiring vetoes, wage matching, and you can combine all three of those together. Non-compete clause, which with a written deal is always included, and then you can give them a signing bonus. So we're going to make that offer to Alex Shelley. And our offer has been made to Alex, so we'll go on back to our roster here. So that's how the contracts work. And since I've offered Alex Shelley, I also want to offer Chris Sabin. And Chris is 34, so we'll do a 1-year deal. We'll kind of take it year by year with Chris, see how he performs. We made the contract offer to Adam Cole. I want to bring in Dave and Jake Christ and Sammy Callahan as well. Dave is 33, so we'll put him on a 1-year deal. Jake is 31, so we'll put him on a 2-year deal. And he will be exclusively in-ring. There we go. Hopefully he comes back. He's on hiatus right now, but we can adjust this to make him an active wrestler. Let's see, Sammy Callahan. We're gonna put OVE together here and get them going. Turn them loose on the Impact Zone. Let's see, what else could we do here? Surprisingly, Hiroshi Tanahashi, who last year was the #1 wrestler according to this game, is only on a pay-per-appearance deal with New Japan. So I want to snatch him up quickly. I definitely want the Briscoes right now. Definitely want Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro, whatever you want to call him. Johnny Gargano is a free agent-ish. He's on pay-per-appearance deals, so we'll send some offers his way. Same with Marty Scurll. I definitely want to get him locked up too. Just kind of tossing out 3-year deals to some of these guys that are right in that window. Okada, formerly in Impact, when he was here, it was not a promising run. He's 28. I would like to pay him until he's 35, so we'll offer him a 7-year deal written. He's going to be the face of the promotion, most likely. Marty Scurll, we've already thrown the offer out to him. We want to throw an offer out to Ricochet. Tommaso Ciampa. I definitely want to offer him up. Tommy End, for sure. And that should be enough for now. We're already over our numbers, roster-wise, roster size-wise, I should say. So I'll show you the roster here. There we go. Okay. So, our ideal roster is 26 wrestlers. We currently have 36, and we are also in significant negotiations with other people. And that's this decision window here shows you exactly what your negotiations are, how they're going down. So right now, as you can see, we are negotiating with a lot of people. So once these guys all get signed, we'll definitely have to take a look at our roster because it's going to be super bloated. But Davey, Drew Galloway, Eddie Edwards, Sean Ricker, Michael Hutter, Gail Kim, Mahabali Shera, Matt Hardy, and Courtney Rush are already with the promotion. So once we get them signed up, if we wanted to get rid of any of these guys, that's going to cost us a ton of money. So these guys here, all from Adam Cole on down to Tommy End, are what we're going to want to keep an eye on. So we'll advance to the next day. And I think we'll wrap it up from there. see what, if anything, comes of those contract negotiations that we started before we get out of here. It takes forever. You got to remember, this game is 6 years old, and I wanted to do something different. I play iRacing, I play Wreckfest, I play Grand Theft Auto with 5M. I see a lot of those people that play a lot of those games, and everybody streams them, but nobody really streams Total Extreme Wrestling. And there's a reason for it, because there's no music and there's not a lot of flashy graphics or anything like that. But we kind of got a basic overview of putting a roster together, and it's going to tell us we have some new emails waiting, but this is our main screen, and we can see where talent has been fired. It looks like All Japan is going to start hiring people. It tells you about other promotions, events that they held, and what the performance was, things like that. You've also got Company Wars. You've got the Power 500, which lists the top talents. And we'll get into that in later episodes, but I wanted to pull up the emails and show you those. As we'll pull up the email list here. It's trying to auto-detect the game, but for some reason it just does not want to do that. And I think for the next one, I think we'll do a monitor capture. Actually, I may do that right now and just move this over there. That might make life a little bit easier for us. There we go. Okay. So there you go. That's what the game looks like. And so now I'm going to be in a contract battle with Kota Ibushi. He's got other people that are wanting to sign him, and that's what that looks like there. It's not being seriously considered. The All Japan one is, though, at $17.20 per appearance on an exclusive PPA deal for 2 years. So we'll go 2 years. We'll keep our money the same, but we'll bump up and give him a 20% bonus every time he appears on a pay-per-view. And it looks like we're going to jump to the front of the pack with Kota. Red Shoes has a pay-per-appearance. Oh, he can't work in America. I forgot to update that. I got to turn the global settings off, so we'll do that. NGW, looking at Killian Dane. He's not active in America. I got to remember to turn that off. TNA Explosion draws a 0 rating on Fuel. That's not good. So we're going to have to step our game up with that TNA Explosion deal. So we're going to wrap it up there. We'll save it. And when we return with our next episode, we'll see if we can turn TNA into the #1 promotion in the world. We are currently 5th, and we'll see where we stand.